Keep it up. I'm proud of you.
Hey everyone, this is Nikolaj from Denmark and
Khatia from Georgia.
Yeah, and we're gonna make this podcast. Today's episode is gonna be about independence.
Yeah, right. So we're going to talk about how our countries achieved independence.
From various different powers.
Yeah, actually I have to mention that our countries are very different, like Georgia and Denmark, and they have totally different culture and history.
Definitely.
And I think they are not even close with each other, and also the independence story is totally different stories.
So who are we? I'm Nikolaj. I'm 22 years old. I come from the city of Aarhus in Denmark, and I am here as a volunteer in Khvichava Gymnasium. As a volunteer, I'm teaching English most of the time, and yeah, this is what I'm doing here.
So I'm Khatia, 24 years old, and I come from Georgia, as I already told you, and I'm a volunteer in Khvichava. We are actually colleagues, and yeah, we're working together, having our time here. And what else can I say? So we are working together and we're getting really good experience, I can say.
Yeah, it's pretty good here. So Denmark was occupied by the Germans during World War II, and back then, I think 9th of April, we made some resistance at the border of Denmark, but after some hours, Denmark basically surrendered to the German forces. And during that time, from 1940 to 1945, we basically were occupied by the Germans. So, we had to ration food and so on. We had small marks that you could trade for sugar or butter and so on. You could not.
Yeah, back then they had marks.
Yeah, exactly. You could not really get.
You also had marks?
Yeah, you could not get enough coffee or something. You had some special marks for certain. You get a certain amount of marks that you can then use for.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, mostly Denmark was quite peaceful during the war. We had some resistance parties in Denmark, even some in my family as well. I think it was my aunt's cousin or something. Yeah, basically he was a resistance fighter against the German armies. He basically did a lot of the word for when you destroy property or something. What's that called? Hærværk. På dansk, det hedder
vandalism.
Vandalism. Yeah, but so in Denmark we had some resistance groups that back then basically did some resistance against the Germans, like took a lot of stuff from the Germans, stole some stuff, blew some cargo trains up, or got some packages from England and hid them around. So yeah, that's basically what we did during the German occupation.
So yeah, that was interesting. But I can say that you had not been through so much as Georgia.
Oh yeah, I definitely can imagine that.
So talking about Georgia now, we were occupied by Russia. That was the Soviet Union, not Russia. As Lithuania as well, and as all the Baltic countries, and Poland and Ukraine and other countries in Asia. We were one of the colonies of Russia, and I could say that it affected Georgia very deeply, and I can admit that there might be some influence still going on. For example, even in the infrastructure, still like the Soviet infrastructure are still standing in Georgia, and you can find many of them, which I really don't like. And yeah, so now I will talk about especially about the Independence Day. So Independence Day is an annual public holiday in Georgia, observed on 26th of May. It commemorates the 26th May 1918 adoption of the Act of Independence, which established the Democratic Republic of Georgia in the aftermath of the Russian Revolution of 1917. And it is the National Day of Georgia. Independence Day is associated with military parades, fireworks, concerts, fairs, and political speeches and ceremonies, in addition to various other public and private events celebrating the history and the culture of Georgia. And on that day, I can remember that we take it very seriously, and there's lots of different events going on in Tbilisi, in the capital city. And what else can I say about Georgia? Yeah, so I will also want to add that now today Russia, not Soviet Union anymore, but Russia still continuing to occupy Georgian land, and 20% of Georgia is occupied by Russia at the moment. And also it is weird that South Ossetia and Abkhazia is occupied by them, and they think that it's theirs, but it's not. It's really funny that they think it's theirs. So in 1992, Abkhazia reinstated its 1925 constitution and declared independence, which the international community refused to recognize. And of course, they refused because Abkhazia is not independent.
Oh, okay.
It's Georgia.
Yeah, okay.
But they think they are independent. But you know, the funny thing is, we are giving them free education, free electricity, free healthcare and everything, and they still don't like us. I don't understand why. Anyways, in a nutshell, that's all. I mean, that's not all. There's lots of things to talk about, but you know, like, if I talk about this, it might take like days. So that's all I could say at this moment.
So, what do you think about independence in general? Do you think that we take it for granted, or do you think that we actually, do you think that we still care about it so much nowadays?
I think back then we did not really take it for granted, because, for example, from my perspective and from as a Georgian, we Georgian people did a lot and put really great effort to get independence. And I don't think it was for granted at all. And if we look at Ukraine and what's going on even now, even today, and if we look at ambitious Russia, we still be very careful, and we should not take it for granted. I mean, the independence.
Yeah, me neither. I also don't think that we take independence for granted. There are lots of people who give their lives for freedom, or even just fight for it really well, and that they give themselves 100% of that cause so that others can live freely. That's really a noble cause to live for, I think. So I might not totally agree with people's ideologies about certain things with the military and so on, but I definitely have big respect for them going through with those ideals.
Yeah, me too. I respect those people who actually sacrifice their lives, not only lives.
So that was the first episode of our podcast. Hope you guys liked it, and see you guys in 2 weeks.
I also hope it was interesting, and see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.